third thing is to leverage time. Now, who here has amples of time and always gets to get everything they want done? Yeah, I didn't think I'd see many hands. Leveraging time is really important. Generally, people think of this focus from a business point of view. I'm so busy working my day job that I don't have time to do what I want to do. Fantastic. Books can help you with that. But from a personal point of view, if you're too busy looking after all your children, why not stay too busy looking after all your children but have a passive income coming in so you don't have to work as well? Leveraging your time, making an income, or fulfilling a dream are all valid reasons to produce a book. But if you don't know which one you're focused on, or which combination of two, or even all three, you're not going to end up with the results you want. You must think about all these things before you start. You must research all these things before you start, because otherwise the end result you reach will be exactly what you asked for, but not necessarily what you wanted. The second step is to plan. Now, once you've finished all your research, you know what you want, so you now can plan the process. You know the beginning, that's where you are now. You know where you want to go, so all you need to do is fill in the steps in the middle. Important things to think about at this stage is who's going to do which stage. Now, you heard me talk about the stages before, but who's going to do it? If you're seriously only writing your book, which by the way is a good place to start, you don't want to do something you're not an expert in because you want your book to be as professional as possible. But if you're only writing your book, who's doing everything else? Do you have the best of the best doing it? Do you have someone you've just met? Do you have someone you don't know? Have you had referrals from their customers? Have you had testimonies to see what they're like? You want to make sure the people working on your book are not only chosen, but they're the best they can be. And in some areas, you don't only want one person. For example, design. You want someone to be designing your cover, but someone else to be designing your contents, because they're different things. They don't necessarily have to be a different company. It might be one company that's working two different designers on two different elements. But you need people that are specialists in each area. What goes on a cover design is very different to what goes on a content design. Likewise, editing. Don't get your book edited once, unless it's being edited by a computer, but humans make mistakes. So even the world's best editor will miss something. So get it edited a second time by a second set of eyes who will see something the first won't. It's really important to have multiple people working on multiple aspects of your book to get the best outcome. How long will each stage take? If you're not doing it, chances are you have no idea how long it's meant to take. Can I tell you the average book takes about 3 months to turn around? But do you know how long my average client takes to turn around? 12 months. That's a 9-month gap, because there's delays in the middle. Sometimes they're things I can control, sometimes they're things I can't. Like, I didn't realise it was going to take this long, or, oh, you mean I need to check the draft before the next stage? My illustrator's just not getting back to me. The courier lost the books. Anything can happen. You need to allow time for this. So you need to know exactly how long each stage is going to take, and I recommend allowing an extra week, just in case something goes wrong in that stage. The other thing is what steps need to be done in each stage. If you've done your background research, you're going to have a rough idea. But when you've found the expert, check with them. Whatever they say, cross-reference it with what you know, put the two together, and work out a plan. That plan is going to have to be customised for you and your book, because there is no way that if you took a stock standard plan, it's going to work for you, because every book is different. Everyone's at a different point when they start. Everyone's trying to get a different outcome. So there's no set of rules. Make sure you've got that plan, well written, and once it's written, follow it. Which brings me to my next point. Does the order of the steps make a difference? Yes, it does. If you've written a plan that tells you from how to get to A to Z, don't go A, F, G, B, Z. It's not going to work. And it will get very confusing, very stressful, very time-consuming, and very expensive, because you'll find you'll be going back, doubling up steps, doing things more than once. There is nothing worse than an unplanned book, and yes, you can tell when you read them. If you read a good book and wonder, oh, I wonder if they had a plan, they did. If you read a bad book, you know they didn't. Which brings me to my third point, budget. Unfortunately, I'm here to tell you today that publishing isn't cheap. People have been publishing books for a great many years. That's why publishers are around. They take care of everything for you. Usually, they charge you nothing. though it's changed these days. But when they take care of everything for you, they actually take complete ownership of your book. You'll be signing away most of the rights, sole distributionship, very scary word. If you're looking at publishing through a traditional publisher, do not sign a contract that says that unless you're sure that's what you want. Because when you sign sole distributionship, were you thinking of having a website to sell your books? Were you thinking of selling a book to a family friend or talking from stage and promoting your books? They've got sole distributionship. So if you want to sell a book, you've got to buy it from them first. And no, you're not paying wholesale. So interesting things to think about. But when you budget, if you're looking at doing the project yourself, or even if you're looking at doing a project with a traditional publisher, and you're budgeting for how many you want to buy to then sell, what is your budget? Is it something you can fund yourself? Or are you looking at investors? I like to teach a publishing process that has a minimalistic cost as possible up front, but allows that initial cost to fund the rest of the publishing process for you. What's ideal is if you don't even pay that upfront cost. What if you pre-sold the book? What if you had people buying the book before it was even made? Those people can fund the process for you. You don't outlay any of your own money, and yet, when those books are given to them, all the leftovers you have are pure profit when you sell them. There's ways of making your publishing work to whatever budget you have. The other thing I've got down here is, do I have enough capital to fund the self-publishing process myself? Now that's slightly what I said, but also alluding on to traditional methods and bigger publishers. Self-publishing and traditional publishing are very different things, but you need to think seriously about which one's right for you, because it may not be the one you first bought, it may not be the one you go with, and it might change partway through the process, but you need to think about what's right for you. On one side, all your expenses are paid, all your risk is gone, and you get a small commission because you've lost the rights to your books. That small commission, multiplied by a large target market, could be quite nice. The flip side is you put all the work in, you put all the money in, you take all the risk, but you get all the rewards. No publishing company is taking your money. The last point I want to draw your attention to with budget is a lot of people say, oh, I wish I could do self-publishing because I'm sick of the big companies taking all the money, but I just can't afford it. You know, it's really expensive, and it can be if done wrong, or it can be if you pay for everything up front. The thing I want to put in your minds at the moment is, have you considered time payments? Did you know that book publishing is like everything else? You can do it on time payments. You can do it on 6 months interest-free. There is finance companies out there, or even publishing studios out there, that have time payment facilities for you, or finance options for you. Just like anything else out there, if you want to produce a book, don't let anything stop you. That includes lack of research, lack of planning, or lack of money. You have lack of nothing. If you want to do it, just get out there and do it. It's as simple as 1, 2, 3.